Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 419. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Molly Feinsod.
Yo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
YEE-HAW! Come on,
Welcome.
guys. Get some fucking energy in this shit.
Yes. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to 419. We are going to, spoiler-free, well, the thing is about this game, Red Dead Redemption 2 we're going to talk about. I can't even tell you if it's a spoiler because I'm not 100% what the story is in this game.
There is no story.
Yeah. But it's experiences. The game's about experiences.
It's a sandbox. You just make whatever shit you want to make, and then you knock it over.
Yeah.
No, not even that. Not even that.
I don't know. There's some flaws with this game, but we'll get into it.
There are?
Yeah, it's by no means perfect, but it's a great game.
Rockstar
I've only seen tens everywhere.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
But Rockstar, they don't make games with flaws in them or glitches.
No, they never do.
But 725 million people or dollars can't be wrong. So
is that what it did? Single biggest opening weekend in history. That was the news for that.
Entertainment, yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
in
This
a
game,
weekend, $725 million.
is it 200 million? Wait, how many millions? 20 million copies sold by Christmas?
Oh, yeah, easily.
I mean,
or is it
it's
200 million?
Ooh, 20 million? That's a lot.
Yeah, 20 million. That's what I think it was. 20 million. I'm like, did I add another zero when I'm thinking 200 million? I think so. I saw an article saying 20 million by Christmas was well in sight.
It could do that.
well, I mean, if they made 725 million and then on average $60 per game, that's 12 million copies already.
So 20 million is going to happen. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be. Could.
You're talking about
That's
8
a
more
lot.
million?
During the holidays, I think it's going to sell better in November. I think it's going to sell
No,
really well in
absolutely. But, like, I mean, that's a lot of people, dude. That's a lot.
November. Yeah.
That's a lot of
That is a
people.
lot of people.
Tony, people are still putting GTA 5 in the top 10.
No, absolutely. But I would say GTA has more of a broad universal appeal than fucking Cowboy Simulator.
Does it though?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This game isn't going to catch up to Grand Theft Auto 5.
But that was my that was my point.
Sell it. What I'm saying is that the history and the developer, people recognize that, and people have been talking about Red Dead like crazy. Like the hype machine behind this thing is just unstoppable.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. But it's not going to catch GTA.
No,
I agree with you. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying,
Tony, for the record, that was my point when I made the bet with you about it staying on, because I think you're right about the Western draw of it. It's not as big as the GTA draw of it.
Yeah.
That's why I said I think after a year, the 13th month, it won't be in the top. Was it 10,
20?
15, 20?
I think we just said top 20.
Yeah.
You're going to lose that bet.
I don't know about that. I stand by it. All right. Let's see. We're gonna get into Red Dead Redemption 2. That's what I've been up to. So I don't really have anything else to add. Anybody else got something other than Red Dead Redemption 2? Mike does. Mike, what have you been playing?
I mean, I'm still playing The Witcher, so it's nothing new.
Yeah. No. Same old open world garbage.
The DLC there is a lot deeper than
And it looks better.
anything else. Yeah. So and now I'm finally getting into the idea of like actually getting good equipment, which I know is way overdue, but there's like this whole separate thing that says like scavenger hunts to like find stuff to create Witcher gear, which you can upgrade. And I'm like, I never cared to do that during most of my playthrough. Then I'm like, oh, I'm near the end of like all the things to do in this game, which isn't even true. I still got a bit left, but it's like I guess I should find like the best armor and wear it.
Yeah. Doesn't the DLC play better than the game?
I mean, it adds another like RPG element where like changing things actually changes how like you play as a character. Like you'll add a freezing aspect to a certain like sign ability that it didn't have before, or you can choose. It's yeah. I mean, in that way, yes, but like as far as controls, not a lot.
Yeah. Okay. I thought maybe it fixed some more combat stuff, but
I mean, it just adds more stuff to the combat, which I mean, the combat, it's not terrible, but it's just there's not a lot going on there.
Right. Corey, anything
Just want to shout out to Destiny and how great it's been. It's been really good.
Shout out to Destiny.
What's our safe word?
The,
I'm kidding.
the,
Kevin Bacon.
the Halloween event is cool. Like they've done a really good job with the Halloween event, and it's getting new content this week with the Halloween event.
I know.
So it's pretty.
They
so it's like every week there's something new.
You know what's funny is like we toyed with the idea, for those wondering, about doing a Halloween event show where we talked about our top events and games, and I thought back to like World of Warcraft immediately popped in my head as one that was my most memorable one.
Headless Horseman,
yeah. So there's been some really cool with these online games. They seem to do really well. 'Cause I think Overwatch does a good one too. These like player-based communities, Destiny as well, obviously does something really cool for these, and they do Christmas time. I remember doing Destiny Christmas stuff, and their events are usually actually really fun. So
you were still playing the game at Christmas time?
Yeah, I went. That was the second round through. Yeah, that was actually round through, like when it got good from the Taken King.
Taken King, yeah. You went through a year, or
I played it a lot. I put hours into that game, probably 250 to 300 hours into that game. I put a lot. Because I would come home and I'd play it. Like,
good. I mean, it's definitely.
I'd come home and play it for like 6 hours a night. So, my Shiros regime. So, all right. So, Tony, anything besides Red Dead?
I mean, I picked up an Xbox One X. So.
Oh yes, let's hear about that. Yeah. So you've been.
Both you and Mike.
I picked up the
Xbox. Xbox.
We got Xboxes to be talking about here.
Well, I double dipped because GameStop was doing this amazing promotion for a base PlayStation 4. They're like, we'll give you $250 store credit. I'm like, that's pretty good considering I bought it for $400. Well, that was the price. I traded in back then. It was a launch, or not launch, but launch year model. It was like the first 8 months or whatever. So like it was kind of, I don't want to say it's on its last legs, but this year after like God of War and Spider-Man definitely like made me a little wary. I was like, is this going to be around by the time Last of Us 2 comes out? Like, I don't know. So I'm like, well, that's a really good trading value. And I'm not playing anything on my PlayStation 4 in the immediate future. So I was like, all right, I'll consider that. And then Microsoft, because they want to compete with Sony for the rest of the year, they're like, hey, if you buy an Xbox and Red Dead Redemption 2, we'll take $100 off the Xbox. I'm just like, will this stack? And then people on like Reddit and Cheap Ass Gamer are like, yeah, we confirmed with our RODs, it's gonna stack. I was like, well, shit. Like, I have very little interest in the game. I even said I probably won't get it, but I was like, Microsoft is gonna pay me a net $40 just to buy it with the system. Like, okay, sure. So like for 200 and change, like, which I paid off with my Armageddon or Flipageddon credit.
Mm-hmm.
I walked out with an Xbox One X and Red Dead Redemption 2, and I think a code for State of K or something like that. I don't know if I guess I'll play it just because it's free. I was like, I mean, Microsoft is going to pay me to do that, and I'm going to get another PlayStation 4. It's just a matter of when. So
I think, I mean, like when you were asking before, I mean, the Xbox One X is like the hardware design. It's the best design system.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Like pulling that out, I was like, damn, this is a nice system. Like it's compact.
The packaging.
Like I said, the packaging was very nice. It was very Apple-esque. Where you like you pull it out, you fold it, come with a sleeve. And I was like, this is pretty nice. Like whatever. The fucking installs though, man. Oh my god.
Oh, like, tell me about it.
Like first of all, I hooked it up, got the updates in. I was like, all right. And I was like, look at the time. I was like, I'm not even going to install Red Dead 2 right now. And then the next day I did it. It was like, it took like 2 hours. And I'm just like.
That disc flip thing got me. I thought it was installed. I turned the game on because
it's like, insert disc 2.
And I was like, wait, I'm 55% installed? Fuck. So, so you got to let our listeners and viewers know, first game you played on it.
So it's one of my, I think, top 5 or top 10 whenever we did the last gen stuff. It was Geometry Wars 2.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I went to the tab. It's like Xbox, old classic titles that you can install. I was like, hell yeah, Geometry Wars 2.
Yeah.
And my score for pacifism is still up there. I think it's like 7,000 out of however many hundreds of thousands people play the game. One of my friends managed to usurp my high score, so I'm a little upset at that. So I might try to beat him back because usually I remember in that game it was one of those things where like whoever would beat somebody as a top would be like text or Facebook message or something like that, and like people would try and stuff like that.
Yeah, I forget how we used to do it. I'm like, did we take a screenshot? We couldn't have, but I remember like doing it. Yeah, so
I remember taking a picture, I think, with the phone and stuff like that. But yeah, so yeah, it was pretty good. Like I said, the hardware is beautiful. That fucking operating system, man, though, like that is shit.
Yeah. They need to fix that.
Like, even on the X, it struggles. I'm just like, what is going on here? And
it's funny because they're a software company and they can't get that shit right.
And like, is this? I meant to ask you guys. Sorry to do it live, but like, when I go to like a game to like buy or purchase or whatever you call it, like, why is it when I like click on it, it tries to play like this like video of it automatically? Like, is there any way to turn that off? Because that is so annoying.
No, it doesn't for me all the time.
I know.
So I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you just do it through the website?
It's the auto play.
Yeah, it's all through the website. If I was to get the I don't even go. I don't use the operating system for anything except for launching the game. It's like, all right, can I pin this to my start menu?
Yeah, you pin to start.
Space because it's so much empty area that you can't do anything.
First of all,
because I want to show
store,
off that sound.
You can even browse in the store. Like it's so.
Don't even. I went in there just to like. See, okay, here's the store. The new, nope, can't even.
Yeah, you can't find anything in there.
Like I wasn't a fan of the PS4, but like this is just like,
yeah,
I'm like, at least that one was usable. This is just like,
well, they tried to go with their whole tiles thing, and it just doesn't.
Oh my god, it's such a mess. And then I was like, how do I get to my fucking friends list? And I was like, oh, I have to press the X button, the Xbox button, and then like tab over at the L. I'm like, and it's such a small icon, like it.
And don't get used to that because it seems to change every time they update their operating system.
All right, cool.
I mean, the previous version was much more intuitive, in my opinion. And they updated it to this one, and it's shit.
Yeah. I think so too.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
Love the hardware.
Yeah. Great design. What were you gonna say?
How about you? I was gonna say
that's Mike.
You got an S.
Yeah.
So like you're going to the S, which you've never had an Xbox One in general. So how's that experience been? Because that's a nice piece of hardware as well. It's just the internals are not as beefy.
So yeah, I really went again because my other friends have peer pressured me to try to play online with them since one of them moved away. They have Xboxes, but what happened was once I determined that it's probably not going to matter too much to me the difference in the power when I have like just a 1080p TV without HDR or anything anyway, and I think S does that anyway. So I'm like, fine, I'll just go with this. And so the package I did, and I knew I was probably going to get Red Dead, so I got Red Dead, got the $100 off. And also the package also had the new NBA game. So I'm like, all right, there it is. So I'll get them both, and that'll be worth it because I'd probably end up with those games by the end of the year anyway, regardless. So, and I got it, and I mean, it's fine. It's taken a while to install, like you said.
The thing is, and this was because they went all in on that digital purchase once, install a game, and own it thing back before we had the whole DRM issue. Yeah, TV. That screwed them this generation because their installs have never been right since. That's why.
No, and I kept having, and I had to go back and forth on all of these different like updates. That pause, continue. I'm like, oh my god! And you have to do the disc for the Red Dead. Like you have to switch twice because you got to go from just 1 to 2 back to 1 again.
Yes.
To play it, you gotta put the first disc back in.
Well, at that point, it wanted to do something like just online with an update again, and then it lost Xbox Live for a second, so it completely stopped at like 98%. I'm like, what are you doing? But I'm
curious though to see how that runs on the S, and because obviously you won't have the experience with the X. So
I won't know. I mean, the S is going to be my weaker system because I do have the PlayStation Pro of the two of them. So it'll be interesting. I did start the game.
So why? Oh, because you got a good deal on the game for the Xbox.
I just didn't want to pay. I know I'm not going to play anything other than online games, and the only single player game will be this game that I'm going to play on it.
It just would have run really well on the Pro. You probably would have sounded like a jet engine. Like I could hear it from here, from your house, if you ran it on the Pro. But it would run so well. I mean, the game is beautiful.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've played this just a little bit, and it's that snowy section where you can't see anything in the beginning anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know
yet. Which, by the way, looks awesome in HDR. But sorry.
I have something to say about that later.
Okay.
But to me, like just the way it is now, nothing looks like real awful, but nothing's blowing me away either.
Well, I mean, the S is still a little bit better than the original Xbox.
Sure.
One.
Yeah.
I mean that helped me too. Like I was just like, oh, so it is not just like the slim. It's not like the 2DS or something.
I think that helped both of you guys if you wanted to go this route is get an SSD drive, an external. You don't need an internal one. You just get an external SSD because for me, like you guys know, I play Destiny all the time. I play on my Xbox One X, and I played it on my S, and the load times in that were so bad. That's one of the reasons that's like with this crazy deal because I did this deal before with the trade-in program. I traded my S in to get the X and everything. So with doing the SSD external, my load times went to half what they were, and the startup time went from like 90 seconds to like 30 seconds. So it's like
that's the other thing I got concerned about real quick since you mentioned it. Like when I turned it on, it was just like the Xbox green. I'm just like
yeah. You know what's funny about this though, and for the record, like if you use just an actual external drive, an external drive just normal and put all your stuff on there, it will load faster than the internal drive on the Xbox because most of the time, as long as you have a 7200 RPM drive, it'll load significantly faster.
Right, so the internal is a 56 or something.
5400. Yeah, it's 5400. Yeah, I mean,
why did they cheap out on that? Or of all the things that cheap out on?
That's what I don't understand. I don't get.
Alexa, stop.
God, there she goes rambling on.
No means no, Alexa.
But yeah, no, the SSD thing is like the best part of like my X because like obviously the X you want to feel that power and you feel and like with the SSD you feel
unlimited power.
Yeah, there's no bottlenecks now. I'm getting the full.
Yeah. It's one of those things I'm going to be on the lookout for as we're approaching, Black Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday, you're gonna probably find a good, like even like a 500, like just like the main games you play.
That was the other thing I was thinking about though. Like if I do feel like, this isn't great with the S, I could just use it towards credit for an X later.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yep.
I mean, especially if you're getting like $200 for it.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some news, and then we'll get into Red Dead Redemption's more stuff. But we got stats. We got numbers. We got numbers here. PlayStation 4 quarter 2 2018 highlights. It shipped 3.9 million units last quarter, increasing its forecast. Sony is to 17.5 million for the year. I saw Piscatella post today that it's going to it's rising their sales still, which negates, like, it just doesn't make sense as to why we're hearing about a PS5 at this point. Am I right? I mean,
yeah. So I mean, and that's the other thing is, I think this year between God of War and Spider-Man and third-party games like Red Dead Redemption 2, to a lesser extent Call of Duty, all that stuff, Fortnite. I would say Fortnite has been a big contributor to people sticking around and like buying consoles and stuff. So I think
anything you own.
right. But I do believe now that it's because of this success this year. They're like, well, you know what? Let's push back the PS5 a little bit because we've talked about it time and time again. No matter how much time you have for a launch, it's never going to be like perfect. Yeah. So giving them an extra year, they can refine it. They can beef up the specs maybe a little bit, or have more software ready at launch, whatever. So and just the way God of War and Spider-Man have been critically acclaimed, and they're selling systems. They're still selling systems. So
that's the problem is like as we talked about last couple episodes ago. What is there for 2019 for them? Sony's wasn't planning on just the PS4 in that year. I mean, it looks like from their slate of games being launched.
I don't know. I mean, it might just be that all of their big things hit in the last few years. Like, think about their exclusives in like a year.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is like I feel like the stuff that's still remaining, Days Gone, what is it? The
Last
Samurai game,
Last of Us 2,
that the
Ghost of
Tsushima, like all that stuff was supposed to be like end of life, like final year, or whatever, say it, and now it's like, oh well. They're just gonna have to coast for a year, and that's fine because then third parties could be like, oh well, gives us more.
Well, do you think that we don't see PS5 until 2021?
I don't think
2020. No, I think the original plan was 2019.
Looking at the slate, it just looks like a fall 2019 looked like. That made sense to me. Just from what there's nothing slated next year. They canceled PSX because they didn't have plans to really hype up anything for next year. They have these 3 games, and that's really it.
Yeah. And then not to mention there was there's one insider on Era that was specifically saying that at the very least Xbox was planning to launch 2019, but they backed off on it for whatever reason, so it's going to be 2020.
Okay.
And I imagine it's probably for the same reasons that it's like, if Sony flinched first, then follow them through, because you don't want to get stuck into like a Dreamcast situation. Or
wait a minute though, didn't they do this big 360? They launched early, and that was great for them. That fixed like a lot of their problems. They basically left the OG to die.
Well, I mean, you're right, but at the same time, if you think about it, 360 didn't really explode until it was the revision, like the slim model came out.
Sure, but I think getting into the market first was huge for them.
Yeah, so, I mean, it did help, but
yeah,
it's a big.
Yeah.
What helped the 360 really was what the outrageous price PlayStation 3 was going to be.
That did, yeah. I mean, Sony did shoot themselves in the foot. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. We have Switch stats as well for Nintendo Quarter 2. 3.1 million units shipped. Now it's over 22 million life to date.
Officially above the GameCube.
Yeah. Wow. Forecast for the Switch says stays at 20 million.
For the year, for the
fiscal year. NES and SNES Classic over 11 million for those two classic consoles, which follows up the news after this for Sony, but we'll get to that in a second. 24 million units of software sold for the quarter. 26% increase in operating profit year over year. Let's see. We got Mario Odyssey passing 12 million, Mario Kart 8, 11 million, Zelda's over 10 million. Splatoon 2 sold 7 million. Mario Tennis sold 2. It's quite impressive numbers for it's like if it's a Switch game, it sells right now. I mean, that's really what it looks like to me. I mean, it's
it's a Nintendo Switch game.
Switch game. Yeah. I mean, that's really, I mean, it's people are just like hungry for these games again. And they're just selling. So, and that may have been because of is it because the Wii U just was so unpopular? Like the hunger is there for these games.
Absolutely. I would say 100% because, I mean, you could see like, Switch has already, I mean, it sold the Wii U in less than a year. It's above the GameCube now. By the next quarter after this holiday season, it's going to be above the N64.
Yeah.
So it's keeping on pace with PS4, which
I mean, talking about a system like the Wii that was one of the best-selling systems of all time, and then followed by one of the worst.
Right, the worst. Right,
all time.
Exactly.
So it's like people want Nintendo products because they've proven it, and then they just you stub your toe and basically fall flat on your face with the next iteration because everybody thinks it's an add-on and don't realize what the fuck it is.
Absolutely. And it was what's the opposite of a perfect storm? Murphy's Law, like the worst, whatever can go wrong will go wrong.
A shitstorm.
Right, exactly. Because it's just like you look at it and it's like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is a port of the Wii U game, is over 11 million copies sold. 11 million. That's crazy.
Yeah.
In not even 2 years. It's
insane. Yeah, it's impressive numbers. It really is. Who would have thought really when I was down on this system when they first announced it. And it's a fun system. It's such the ease of use for it. Just helps so much. Just pop into a game, and as long as they keep designing things, they need better design in their software, like eShop. But other than that, that's my really big gripe.
All these consoles, man, they just don't know how to do a UI.
How is it so hard to find things in their shops? I mean, Microsoft and Nintendo. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And Sony too. Like,
and Sony.
None of them are good.
I hate their search feature in the PS4. I hate the search feature.
They don't want you searching.
No. Yeah. So let's see what else we have. Anthem gameplay footage. I didn't get to see this. Does this look terrible? I'm sorry.
I mean, me personally, I'm not excited for it, but I mean, it's seriously, if you watch a little bit, it looks just like Destiny 2. Like, exactly, in my opinion. Just it looks exactly like
Destiny 2 creators, content creators that have gotten a chance to play it, and they're all pretty excited for it because I think it's very similar in that sense. And they say the controls are very intuitive from what I've heard. And so people are excited about it, but I don't know if they're getting paid to be excited about it.
Right. It's always because it's like you're at a show. It's like, well, you gotta
say certain things.
But I mean, the one thing I gotta say is like I am super skeptical. If this launches the way it looks right now, like I'm super skeptical of how well it's gonna go. Because Destiny 2 just turned it around with their expansion, and it has the player base, the user base, and what you're going to try to get people to play this other game that's
hard. Like when you have a game that's just throwing content at you, like every day there's something new to do. like how do you pull yourself away from that? Like, and to do another game that's doing the same exact thing.
Yeah,
you know?
You have to make yourself different somehow too, and it doesn't sound like they are with this.
Right. And I mean, I could be wrong, but it's just I don't see it. You know, I don't see it.
Yeah. All right. Nintendo Direct coming November 1st for Smash Direct, right?
Yep. 40 minutes. Smash goodness. This is going to be the final Smash Direct. So at the end of it, we will know every single character, stage. Those are the two big things. Cool. And then all the game modes. So it's the big thing.
That final hidden mode, wherever that was.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And I don't know if you guys. I mean, I assume you guys don't really pay attention to the at least the Smash Nintendo stuff. But like last week, there was this fucking huge leak, I guess, where like somebody on I don't know Snapchat or some fucking bullshit secondary social media thing posted like this picture of like a Smash, like the key art for Smash Brothers with all the characters, like a banner of it, a printed banner, and he's like, "F Nintendo, like I'm leaking like the final design banner or whatever for marketing or something like that." And when people zoomed in, of course it's like semi-blurry and stuff like that, but like people looked and it's like, oh look, there's Shadow the Hedgehog, there's Isaac from whatever, there's Ken, and somebody else, and like so people were going there's Banjo-Kazooie, so like all those people were like, oh, they worked something out with Microsoft, and like people were just going nuts. But then as like the hype train just got out of control, a lot of insiders who work in the industry or whatever were like, don't get too excited for this, guys. And the bloodthirstiness was just crazy, because then it was like, fuck you, if you can't say shit, then don't come to the thread, like don't post, like all this other stuff, like unless you're willing to talk about every single little detail, shut the fuck up.
Wow.
And like people got violent, like
wow.
So the guy Imran, who the producer for I forget one of the things, like he had to close his DMs because people were like sending him like threats and being like really like violent against him, because he's like, yeah, this is it, guys. Like, don't get your hopes up for this.
They confirmed already that the roster is every playable character we've ever played as.
Right.
So like,
at this point, it's right. Well, at this point, it's just the new characters, because and this is the perfect storm of like the characters they put in here were like enough to get everybody in a tizzy. Like Shadow the Hedgehog, you get that crazy Sonic fan base. You have Banjo-Kazooie, you get the crazy Microsoft fan base. Ken was one of them, so he's a echo of Ryu, so that was like a guest character and stuff like that. So like it threw people into a tizzy. But
great. So Fallout for that on November 1st.
Yep. Oh yeah. So many people, one way or another, people could be eating crow on Thursday. So it's gonna be delicious.
Cool. All right. Lastly on the news, we have PS1 Classics lineup was revealed, and ho-hum, I think about sums this up. Is it too harsh? Say ho-hum?
I mean, it's all right. Like,
yeah.
I just think they set expectations way too high, because when they first announced it, they're like, Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid, whatever it was. And it's like, those are like the best, most, I would say, most well-known games on the PlayStation 1 that like put that on the map.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we'll reveal all the games at a later date. And it's like, all right, pre-orders had been open for like over a month at this point. And they're like, hey guys, here's all these games. And like, let's go through them real quick. So like, Battle Arena Toshiden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash.
First game I think I played on PlayStation was Destruction Derby. But go on.
Well, most of these games are like the first like launch title stuff.
That's what I mean. Like when I was talking about it on Discord, I was mentioning the fact that it seems like they went for the older games and not the better games. But go on. Yeah.
Mr. Driller, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations, Persona, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, and Wild Arms. And I'm sorry, because they're not listed. Twisted Metal 1, Tekken 3, Ridge Racer 4, Metal Gear Solid, Grand Theft Auto, Busted, and Final Fantasy 7.
Yes, because as we all know, the world needs another Final Fantasy 7.
I mean, that had to be there. I can understand that.
It's synonymous with PlayStation 1.
I mean, that is the reason why I wanted my PlayStation to begin with. But like, I like Metal Gear Solid on this list. I like actually, I really like Ridge Racer 4 on there. That's good.
I like Wild Arms. The rest of it, I could just
I think I agree. Like, no Resident Evil 2. I mean,
and see, this is. I want to say this is like, it feels like a repeat of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, where it's just like, we are going to give you something. It's just not the thing you want. It's like, oh man, like, you know, PlayStation All-Stars, we're going to get Solid Snake, just like Smash Brothers. And it's like, no, you're getting Raiden to, you know, promote Metal Gear Revenge. It's like, oh.
Yeah, we couldn't get Tony Hawk, right? Then it's not possible.
No, the licensing probably would have been a fucking nightmare.
I mean, if you did get Tony Hawk, you would not get the music.
You're right.
And I think that I don't know if people would want that. Yeah, I don't know if they want that. So.
No. That's like half the appeal of those games.
We didn't get Twisted Metal 2.
Right, and that's just a clear upgrade to Twisted Metal 1,
yeah.
which is just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling.
Because it's not like they
Rayman,
put Ridge Racer 1 like on there. It's like, you know, it's,
right.
Okay, so I know
on this thing.
So I know though whose decision was to throw Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six onto this list. Like I just don't remember that being. I don't remember that being big at all for PlayStation. Does anybody remember that being big?
And that was the worst version of the game.
Yeah.
Worst version
like
of the game.
360 is where you want to play Rainbow
Yeah,
Six.
that's where it started getting good. And I'm like, why would they put it from the PlayStation era? Like it doesn't make any sense why that's on this list.
Right. So like I could understand if this were
if it was SOCOM, that would be different.
Sure, yeah, that'll work.
Wait, was SOCOM on PS1?
That was PS2.
Was it?
That was PS2.
I thought it was PS2.
That was PS2 because that was the headset. That was the headset.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. If this were a list, if those were games out of like 30, I could understand. But when you get down to 20, like, you know, there's very little room for like feel like. All right, let's just look at like Capcom. So they got Resident Evil Director's Cut. Like, okay, I get it, but like, you couldn't give people Resident Evil 2 because then they're like, you know, oh look, I remember this game, and it's like, oh look, that remake is coming in just a couple months. Like, I'll get that too.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's like Resident Evil Director's Cut. Like that was a bad version of the game.
Sure.
But whatever.
Yeah.
And then Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Like I personally enjoy that game.
Sure.
But is that like a wide thing? Like, I mean, they've had Mega Man 8, they had Mega Man X4 and 5, they had Rival Schools, they had Darkstalkers, like so many Capcom games they could have pulled from any other fighter, and they're like Super Puzzle Fighter.
The Alpha series was on there too.
Exactly. The Alpha series was amazing on that.
So
it's
the other thing they really missed out was like other RPGs. Like there were so many good
Vagrant Story. I mean, there's a lot of
Xenogears.
Yeah, Suikoden.
Oh god, yes. Why did Suikoden not make this list? Come on, people. Come on.
Right. No, I mean, and like the big thing is
you can play on your Vita, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have a Vita.
And the big thing is like Symphony of the Night. Hello, like Castlevania.
Oh,
like that was such a huge hit. You know,
on this list, I don't get it
because they want to sell you the $20 version on fucking PlayStation 4 right now.
That's the money. Oh god, yes. It's all money grabs. I get it, but
and I definitely agree with some of you guys before in Discord saying like this seems like Volume 1, PlayStation Classic Volume 1.
Yeah,
there's going to be a Volume 2 or something. Why though? Like why even do that then? You know, like you don't need a
drum up
2.
interest in your classics and in your.
It's just dumb. It's just like. Just get just get the PlayStation. You can find a PlayStation that runs.
Yeah,
right. Because that's the thing is like
really those disk drives were really dodgy.
Like I think when Nick posted, he was the one that proposed like, oh, this is like Classic 1.0 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, I was like, they'd be so dumb if they did the 2.0 because they'd like, I think they would piss people off that like bought the 1.0. But I'm thinking like, no, there's a way they can get around this if they call it PlayStation ONE Classic, which was the redesign. Remember that?
PSX.
Yeah, the PSX redesign. Yeah, that's what it was. And then
the PlayStation ONE.
Yes.
Yeah,
the little white one, which is probably the same size as this console. Actually,
so you could have PlayStation Classic, then you have the PlayStation, then you could have the PSX Classic, and then you could have the PlayStation ONE Classic.
Yep.
I really loved that little console. The PS1.
It was
such a
fun.
great design. Yeah.
And it had you could buy the LCD screen attachment.
Yeah,
I have one of those, I think, somewhere. But
I think I had one too. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's fun. It's just for me, it's $100. That's way too much to just like splurge on. Like.
Yeah, I agree.
You know.
I think so. All right.
I mean, again, even the other ones, like all these mini consoles, they would just be like showpieces. I don't think I'd ever use them.
Yep. Yeah. All right, let's talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. Mike, you haven't played too much.
Hold on, real quick. Forgot to put one piece of news. So they announced a new guest character for Soul Calibur 6.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Oh, you gotta say something here. Come on, Jim.
I completely forgot about it. Yes.
Our girl 2B from Nier Automata is going to be a guest character. So I'm like,
perfect fit.
It's another perfect fit character. Like I think Geralt, he fits perfectly as well. And I think this character fits perfectly into this. Thinking about the way she moves and the action sequences, it fits for Soul Calibur.
Yeah. And so because of that, I went out and Target is having a buy two get one sale right now.
Yeah, that's right.
On the website. So I went in, and so I don't know if you guys know, but Target prorates everything. So if you buy like three $60 games, it's $120, but you get 3 games. But on the receipt, it shows every one of them shows up as 40. That way, you don't just return the expensive one and keep like the cheap one or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're paying 60 for 2. So all I did was because Soul Calibur 6 actually does it a really good way with the collector's edition or whatever it is, like the $99 version. It comes with like the steelbook, some extras, but it comes with the season 1 DLC pass, which is like normally 30, which is like, okay, so you're getting
that, yeah.
right. So all I did was order 3 of those, immediately canceled the other 2. So I just got like that for like $70. I was like, perfect. Like,
nice.
There you go.
There you go. Cool. Yeah, I forgot that was going on.
The internet's also going crazy with the created characters too.
Oh yeah, people are going.
Oh, I've heard. All right. Red Dead Redemption 2. Let's talk about this game. So the whole time leading up to this, I'm thinking like, I don't know I'm going to like this game. Everything I've heard about this game is going to be tedious and just overbearing. And okay. So
everything you hate about the open world games, Jim, is here.
And it's kind of,
I don't understand it.
It's kind of true. There's a lot of things I'm like, why do I have to pick up every item in this drawer when I could just hit take all on most games? Why is that not there? And why am I required to ride a horse 30 minutes across town, before I can actually do anything? But then the way I'm looking at this game, and I love this game right now. I will say that right now. I absolutely love this game. And I think a lot of it has to deal with the fact that, first of all, there's not many Western games, if any. I really do, I guess, secretly like Westerns. I'm not like the most clamoring.
You talk about Red Dead Redemption all the time.
Sure. I love that game. And there's not a lot of Westerns. But I'm just saying, like, in terms of movies too, I kind of really love to watch a good Western. And it's like, I don't seem to go out of my way for it, but I do enjoy them when I watch them. So I think it's the same idea for the game. And playing this game, like, I'm throwing myself in as this character, and I've done it. Like, I'm in there and I'm kind of experiencing the world. And when you do that, even have to manage your horse to like make sure they're fed or cleaned. I got to the point where I figured out what I had an icon popping up on my screen. And the only problem with the game, there's interface issues, is really the biggest problem with this game. Because I have no idea what a red looking, now I know what it is. It's a brush. I had no idea what it was on the screen, but it was flashing on occasion. I thought it was something with my character. I'm like, oh, I have to eat. So let me eat something. No, it didn't work. So I'm like, what the hell is it? Finally, I get to the point in the game where they tell you that your horse is dirty and it needs to be like run through the water or brushed to get it to optimal stamina, or else it will lose its health or stamina over time slowly. But
why?
That aside, yeah. So that aside, absolutely love this world. Love this world. And thinking about what's going, I mean, we could talk about this game for hours with just personal experiences. And just leading it off, we're not going to talk any spoilers because I can't tell you what the main story is. Like, there is a main story because I'm doing the story progress right now. I'm 15% through, and I don't know, but I do know that I've made some idiots of myself so many times. Bandits will jump out. The first time it happened, I was like, wait, what? Can I outrun them? And they just killed me. And then the second time it happened, I was kind of like, oh, I'm right near my camp. I'm going to make a left turn real quick with my horse. And does anybody know the rock near your camp? There's a big rock that kind of marks the camp you're coming up to. You ever notice that when you're coming up from the Valentine town? Yeah. Well, I happened to be right next to that rock, and I made the immediate left with my horse and proceeded to throw myself completely over with the horse over the rock, and I killed myself and the horse almost immediately. It was quite impressive. So, oh man, it was bad. Today was a day of me. You know what's funny? It's like I hadn't had a horse problem until today. I told you this. And then I had a horse problem, but I loved it. Like, I'm like sitting here, like I am trying to be as careful as possible with my horse. I'm patting it as we're riding to make sure it's very happy, and it's like a pet. I don't know, and I just love this world. I love the world, and I love the characters. I love the fact that I killed somebody. Well, no, I didn't kill somebody. I was brawling with somebody in the street, and he owed money. So after I knocked him out, I took the money, and somebody saw that and said, he's robbing him. And I'm like, wait, no, I'm not. And then here comes the marshals, and I'm like, the sheriff. I'm like, are you? I'm like, I didn't rob him. He owed me the money. And my character's saying this. I'm thinking the same thing. And now I'm wanted in that town. So I'm like, great. So all because I looted the guy in front of somebody. They were there watching the fight, and that was fine until I went and looted the guy who I knocked out, or maybe killed. I'm not sure, but how that happened. He may have gotten up later. I don't know. But I do know the little. I'm not doing well with the honor thing. Not doing well with that because the easier decision is to just be like, this guy needs to shut up. He needs to die. But yeah, I'm loving this game quite a bit. I mean, who wants to talk about it more? I mean, Mike, you've only played a little bit, I know.
I'm not through, I think, the tutorial section yet.
The tutorials throughout the game. I'm still getting tutorial.
Maybe I just, yeah, no, I mean, snow is still falling on me. I don't know if we're like even set up yet in a camp, so.
Yeah.
Not much time.
Not. If you gotta get out of the snow before you get to camp.
Yeah, the camp's out of the snow. Which is a great sequence. And another part of the game that I haven't paid attention to, I just realized, was clothing. You have to pay attention to clothing in this game, and it tells you when you leave the mountains. So, Corey, Tony, you've probably played a lot of it. I mean, how many hours have you played of this, you think?
Probably 3 to 4.
Okay, so I've probably played more time than you. I've been off. That's the thing.
I didn't play since Friday. So
okay, so I've been sick, so I've been playing this game like crazy, and yeah, it's been a hell of a run. Like the experiences I've had, it's amazing.
There are parts of it that are amazing. I will absolutely agree with you that. Like, yes, the world is beautiful and
it looks great.
It's an amazing actual.
It's an achievement. It's an absolute achievement in
right.
It's amazing. Yeah, what they've done with this.
Seeing an Xbox One, I'm so happy that this gets to be my first actual Xbox One game.
And it's hard to believe everything had to be created. Like it's they didn't just take pictures here. It's no, they created bladed grass and shit.
For the record, I think the horse poops.
Probably.
Oh yeah. It did for me a few times.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a technical marvel. And the voice acting and the quality of that is superb. But for everything I want to love about this game, and I do, it's just there's one or two things that just are ranging from this is annoying to this is straight up terrible. I'm sorry, I don't know if Red Dead Redemption 1 played this way, but I just feel the overall way that Arthur moves is so fucking sluggish, and it feels like a 360 game. I'm just trying to get him to move. You can't sprint all the time.
It's almost like a tank control, isn't it? It's almost tank controls. It's not, but it almost is. Yeah,
yes. It almost is.
But this is how Grand Theft Auto people move.
Right, but this isn't Grand Theft Auto.
He's so slow. I feel like people in Grand Theft Auto move way faster.
They did.
It's so slow. And the other thing is I'm still early with the combat, but I hate the shooting mechanics. It's just I feel it's so counterintuitive to what a modern game should feel like. And that's after playing God of War, Spider-Man, Zelda, Horizon, Nier, all this stuff.
The best combats, yeah,
of the generation. And it's just it's hold this, and then I don't know, maybe it's the auto aim, maybe I got to turn that off. But I
haven't liked the auto aim at all.
Because you have to pull the trigger twice, and I'm just why? It's just terrible. It's not fun.
Mm-hmm. And you get a rifle, and you shoot, and then you have to shoot again to reload, and then you shoot again.
I thought it was reloading. I'm actually reloading my gun, but not the gun itself. I'm reloading the clip. That's what I'm reloading when I hit reload on the rifle. But yeah.
So it's just that. I mean, not that I have too much problems with the combat. It's just frustrating because I'm
sure.
I just need to shoot you, dude. Stop. Whatever.
And then the aiming is you're saying the auto aim stuff. It's I feel it'll I'm in water or something, and then I just get out of water and fly across what the heck? What am I doing? Why? What happened there?
Yeah.
So I don't like that. And then, but so one thing I do like is the way that you interact with the characters in your camp. It feels very natural. It feels very fluid because
getting your missions is very organic. It's just
talk to them, and it's hey, I got to do this, and just all of a sudden you're on a quest. I'm oh. I mean, I was planning on doing something else today, but I guess not.
No, that's happened to me. I'm back at camp. I'm I was gonna go clean myself up, and nope, we're going out right away.
Yeah, so there's that. But I mean, whatever. It's fun so far. We'll see how it gets there. But honestly, it's just my biggest gripe with it is there's so many things that I think are there for the realism or the immersion, whatever the hell you want to call it. With open up the cupboard. Oh, there's
interface options.
It's like
interface options. It really is. It's like interaction options, not interface. Interaction options.
I don't think it's interaction options. I think it's just video gaming things that just make the experience better for the player that aren't there because they want to go for They want to go for that realism. And like I understand certain things are cool. Like I like that if you try to get something from your saddlebag and it's on the other side of your horse, you reach across and grab it. That's neat.
Yeah.
It's cool, but like with opening the cupboard thing, I agree. Like, give me an option, just take everything, because you can still make that real. Just like I'm gonna put my arm in this cupboard and just.
The idea though is sometimes you're full.
This is what gets me. Like
that's about the only thing I've done so far. Is like,
then you have to hold the button too. Like,
I get it.
That drove me crazy. The whole thing. You warned me about it, but I've just played Witcher where it's literally spam, take all, like that, clear out a room like that. That's what I've just been doing. Then I go in here and I'm like, why am I not doing anything? I'm pressing the button, nothing's happening.
And this is the way he loots it, all right? He'll be like, so he reaches like, to the camera, it's like
yes.
It's just like, dude, hurry the fuck up. I got
and to just make me more frustrated with it, the other NPC, the guy I'm with, is outside yelling, "What's taking so long?" I'm like, "Fuck you, man! This is your world. You're doing this to me."
The funny part is like, and this goes back to you. Like, I don't know how far, Corey. How far are you in this?
I'm at the camp. I mean, I just did stuff there. So, all
right. So I'm further along with like a certain part. Like, there's certain sequences you can do in this game. Everybody's going to have their own experience. So one of the experiences I just had was I was robbing somebody, and I snuck into their house. And I found their belongings while they were being distracted and stole them and walked out. And I'm like, oh, I'm good. They didn't see me. I didn't close the drawers of the house. So yeah, I'm wanted there now too, because I forgot to close the drawers. And it was kind of obvious I robbed them when they walked back in, and probably their drawers were wide open in their house.
How would they know it's you though?
I don't know. But
their security cameras.
Tony, I can't hear you. Tony, you muted? I can't hear you.
No.
No. That's weird. Nope. That's weird.
Tony.
But, I'm not sure what's going on, Tony. Go on. Well, Tony fixes that. Go on, Corey.
No, I mean, my biggest problem is the controls. I don't feel like, and it's probably because I've been playing other games too.
Sure.
But it's just like I don't feel like they're very intuitive.
No, there's a lot. There's a lot to improve on this game. There absolutely.
Yeah, there's just so many things that I just don't understand, like how they could get like perfect scores with this, because the control scheme is just awful.
That's it. I don't know how it got a perfect score. I'm not saying it should have one.
Thank you. So hold on, really quick. I want to go back. So like my biggest gripe is this like balance of immersion and like I am playing a video game. So like, okay, I get it if like you want to leave it by the default, like press the button to loot everything one at a time. Okay, whatever. Give me the option to at least turn that off and just be like loot all, like it just pops in my inventory.
Just holding down.
I see this as a patch.
You could do individual things. You could just tap them a million times, and that'd be fine.
But then the thing is like, so it's like if you're gonna do that immersion, realism, whatever you want to call it, then like be consistent about it. So like changing clothes, it's just like that, like you're just in a different outfit, and it's just like.
Sure, and like even like I think about looting bodies too. Like looting takes forever. Flip them over and then pat down, and then and then meanwhile there's a fight going on.
Yeah,
and then I didn't do it one time. I'm like, I'll just go back and I'll re-loot the guys. They're gone.
Yeah.
By the way, can you not do that in the like early like tutorial things? I like tried to see something come up for that, and nothing seemed to happen.
No, as soon as you kill somebody, you can loot them.
Yeah.
Even in the earlier parts of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I just looked over like bodies trying to do something, and like I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, your teammates loot too.
So they took all the shit already.
They could have.
Yeah, they did. That happened to me. I attacked a camp with my group. Oh, geez, I just massively zoomed in. How do I get back?
I don't know. I just zoomed in on my end. So
okay. I hope this doesn't work. Okay.
Anyways, hope this doesn't work. Famous last words.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Anyways,
don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
As long as we have video at the end here. So I think that I even lost what I was talking about. Oh, I was looting the camp, and I went to go loot somebody I know that I shot and killed, and he was empty, and the guy was like moving. I watched the guy in my party go around, and he was doing the same thing as me. I'm like, oh shit, okay. Yeah. If this is going on, okay.
Yeah, but Corey, thank you for bringing that up, because like this is the thing, and this is outside of the game, but like I feel like Rockstar has achieved one of those status where like it doesn't matter, like they're just gonna get these amazing scores because like here's the thing, I gave up Rockstar Games after GTA 4 because I felt so betrayed by that game compared to like what the hype was behind that and the review scores and stuff like that. So I swore it off, but you know, because of the deal and because the scores were so good, I was like, you know what, I really like to try Red Dead Redemption 2 because you know who knows, maybe I will like it. And you know, so I'm enjoying my experience, but like when I see like all these like 10 out of 10s, I'm like, this is like, you know, one of the best games ever. I'm just like, are you serious? Because like if any other game had this control scheme or like felt this sluggish, or if had this like, you know, you can't loot the whole goddamn cabinet. Like, can you imagine if Fallout had that? Like people would bitch about that and like it would lose points for something like that. But Rockstar doesn't. It's like, oh, immersion, realism. Like Rockstar is ahead of the game. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? Is everybody crazy or is it just me? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm all for like doing shit because attention to detail. I'm all for attention to detail. And that's I love that. Like, give me shrinking horse balls. Yeah, give me that. That's fine. I want to see that stuff. Sure. I want those details, but I don't want is the fact that they're trying to make a game so realistic that it actually takes you out of the enjoyment of the game.
It hasn't taken me out, more or less. It's just more like when I get to the looting parts,
it's like,
oh, here we go.
You do something with like you go on a quest with a guy, and then you finish the quest, and then you have to find the guy to meet up with him so you could ride back to your camp. It seems like
there was a point where I lost
to do that.
I actually lost my horse and had to run back to camp. I lost my horse.
So it's
I didn't die.
I finished the quest. Let me like. Okay, go to a cutscene of me riding back or something like 5 seconds. They do that though,
but they do that later.
That doesn't happen. Do those things.
Yeah, they do that.
But they don't do it all the times. Like, like I don't remember where I did certain things, and the guy was like waiting for me. I'm like, where are you, dude? Like, I don't know where you are. Like, I'm looking all over.
Yeah, I mean,
so, like, why do I need to do those things?
There's a lot of unexplained. There's so many things in this game because it's trying to be so real, and there's a lot of things that are just not explained. So you're like, am I doing this right? Am I buying the right things? Am I like upgrades? I haven't gotten into that.
Like I don't want to like a game. I don't want this game to make me feel like it's work. Like I wanna.
Yes. If I had to give this game right now a score, I would probably give it an 8.5. That's probably where I'm at with it. If I had to give a score right now, I'm not playing. I'm enjoying the game quite a bit. But I'm not saying it's by any means perfect because there's a lot of gripes I have with it. But I am enjoying the game. For an open world game, for me, this is big.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of stuff to enjoy about it. It's just like I said, like everything I want to like or do like about it, like I feel like there's something else that just interrupts or gets in the way of me enjoying the fun. So like take another example. I don't know if you guys got into this, but like I was in town and there was some dude, like my horse bumped into his, and it was just like a slight bump, nothing happened. But like he gets off his horse and like starts to pull out his gun. So I'm like, the fuck, bro? So I got off my horse real quick and just punch him. So then all of a sudden, because I'm punching him, you know, I punched him first. Everybody's like, oh, a crime's going on. And like, it's like, whatever. I knocked him out. And then all these people are like, oh, you're wanted. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, what? So then like, I run up to this, like a second floor, like balcony just to like wait it out or whatever like that. But, you know, all these marshals around the area looking for me or, you know, whoever. And I'm just like, why isn't the meter going down? And then I like start to creep back towards like the stairs to the outside balcony. And they just start talking to me like, give yourself up. I'm like, what? Like, you guys, how do you know where I am? So then I finally peek over and there's like 3 dudes just like, you know, aiming at my direction. I'm like, how do you know I'm there? Like, how? Yeah. You didn't see me. How did you know I'm
But they were good. Like they rode right past me at the one town and I was out of the red and they rode right past me. They didn't even stop.
Yeah,
so
well, I don't know.
All I know is like I was riding really fast with my one horse, like the one time, and I accidentally ran into these two guys were on the horse in front of me, and I accidentally ran into one of them, and we both flew off the horse. And his friend was so pissed, he pulled a shotgun out and killed me. Like he shot me immediately after I did that. I was like, holy shit. And another there's like these experiences that are awesome. And then like another thing happened that was just so cheap, by the way. I was in the middle of a there's so many different things you can do, but like I was in the middle of this like robbery scene again, where you had to climb something. I'm trying to be vague here because there's story elements here. You had to climb something, and the guy is with you. He's like, hurry up, we have to go. So I'm like, okay. So I went to go climb up, and I got shot and killed immediately because there was somebody waiting for me. And I'm like, oh shit. So what do I do here? So I reloaded, and I went to the next part. And I'm standing there. I'm like, how do I get to him without getting shot and killed? So I climbed up again. And this time around, he did not hit me. He missed me. So I'm like, are you serious? The game just fucked me over that badly the first time I went through. Like I just instantly got shot and killed in the head because I just bad luck. So that can happen in this game, just bad luck. Because that's how you're supposed to proceed with the experience.
Yeah.
So
God. And then so like one other thing that like got to me was like I did a mission and I'm trying to get back. And like this is my gripe because like I know apparently you get fast travel later in the game, but like completing a mission that was completely on like the opposite side of the map. And it's like, all right, sweet, I did it. Like I gotta like travel all the way back. So I'm like halfway there, and then I'm like through this like foresty area, and I'm doing this turn. And I swear to God, this did not exist before I did this turn. But there's like a dude with like 2 horses in a caravan. So my horse just runs into him, and my horse and I go flying. My horse just instantly dies. I'm like, are you fucking serious? And like the dude's just like kind of looking at me. So I'm like, no, fuck you, dude. And I just pulled out my gun and shot him. So then apparently, like there were 3 people in the area that just like weren't on my screen, but like the blips appear.
Yeah.
So I'm just there's like witnesses, and it's like the game's like has a pop up like, oh, if these witnesses report it, like you're gonna be a wanted man. So I'm just like, well, somebody's just gonna have to die. So I go and kill those people, but then it like triggers like more people that are just like, well, I don't know what they're doing, like pissing in the bushes or something. Like, who are you people?
That happened to me. There was a witness of a fight for me. I ran the witness down. And we were in the middle of the woods, because he was running from me for a while. I ran after him, ran him down, and then I shot him. And then all of a sudden there was witnesses again, and I was like, wait, because they said not witnesses. There was instantly murder reported. I'm like, that's not possible because I shot and killed I ran him down.
Yeah. So I mean, like, yes, like there's a lot of fun to be had. It's definitely, in my opinion, like it's definitely like Breath of the Wild. Like everybody's gonna have their own different stories because like you can approach it in different ways. You can do different quests and whatnot. But like, there's so many things. I'm just like, like you're making me fight the game and not go with it. So
yeah, there's a lot of fighting it, and I think a lot of this will be updated in patches.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Anything you guys want to add to this, Corey?
No, it's the game. There's so much there. I definitely I don't want to judge it quite yet.
Sure,
I just got to the camp, out of the winter weather, and like starting to actually play the game. I feel like now, so I want to give that chance. But again, the controls for me are just really holding me back. I feel like that's the one thing that I just do not like. I don't feel it's intuitive at all. Like I'm hitting the wrong buttons to do things because like
cover. I will say the cover is not fun. Cover feature is not good. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it's like again that just feels like it's like, oh, Gears of War was a thing. Like implement their cover system. It's like
yeah, it's there.
I want this game to be good, and I want to see it succeed. And it's pretty amazing. Like we have a game that we're all playing at the same time.
I mean, it succeeded already. It's all right.
Yeah. What were you gonna say about HDR?
Oh yeah. There's a Digital Foundry article that says HDR is bullshit on this.
On this one? It looks great.
Yeah, I'm saying that you don't need it.
Huh, I have to turn it off and see then. I'll have to try that.
So yeah, I was going to send you the article. Basically, it says, let me see, where was that?
Yeah, send it on over.
Placebo effect.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up our episode, though. I think we've talked about that pretty good amount. We're all playing this. We will do like a post-mortem of this.
Seems to serve no real purpose.
No, I'll have to try it without it. So, all right. I think that's going to wrap up 419 of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for viewing. Write us podcast at allycangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allycangeek. Like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube. On this, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, please. We'd love to have you. Keep watching our videos. Keep listening to our podcasts. We will do a spoiler cast at some point on this, I'm sure. This is a big game, so we'll see when. But thanks for tuning in. Happy Halloween again. See you guys next week. Yeah, see you guys next week. Thanks.
It's fun.